Good morning and welcome to the VSA Morning Miner. It's Friday the 22nd of August ahead of the bank holiday weekend. Andrew's obviously still in Mexico and he's now finished visits at Luca and Avino, and next week is G Silver and Sierra Madre, both of who reported news overnight. So we'll start with the Q2s from Sierra Madre.
Yes, Sierra Madre silver revenues for the quarter came in at $2.18 million, equating to $33.20 an ounce. Gold revenues almost $3.6 million, or $3,271 an ounce. Cost of sales went up a little bit here to $23.45, compared to $3.6 million or $21.84. Cost impacts in part hit by the early onset of the rainy season in Mexico, as well as some power interruptions in part caused by that. All-in sustaining costs therefore came up to just over $30 an ounce compared to $29 an ounce in the first quarter. Pretty good numbers overall, though, as with the recent fundraisers and the loan extension offered up by First Majestic, everyone seems to be pretty happy that these are temporary issues that will be resolved, if not already resolved, by the recent fundraisers, allowing them to put in additional performance measures to help prevent these things happening in future.
Well, I think a bit more positive than that, actually. It's the second quarter of production at commercial rates for this company, so let's not forget that. And it's the second quarter of consecutive profit, and with free cash flow actually boosting the cash balance at the end of everything. The other key point is that Colosso came online at the end of the period, and so that will be contributing its high grade material to the mill from Q3 onwards, so that should benefit. Also, it will grade in as they'll be working up to about 120 tons a day of mining contribution, and then obviously that fundraise will enable the expansion in stages to 1,000 tons per day, and once we're at that point, I would expect about a third of mine material to come from Colosso, and it could be higher depending on what happens with met testing, as that could enhance the recoveries to enable a greater contribution, and blend with the ore from the other areas of the mine. So good result.
Good points you've made there, and that would I would say would make it worthwhile for people to contact us to get copies of our recent research.
Yep, we'll be updating that on the back of these, although I don't think there'll be too many changes for the 2025 numbers. Our estimate for production was about 750,000 ounces of silver equivalent, and we're just under 340 for the year to date. So even with the slight hindrance from heavy rain in Q2, we're looking well on track to hit that target and the profit forecasts that come with that.
Mm-hmm.
And the share price is up 73% year to date, so that also going nicely. G Silver closed their fundraise as well at $18 million, Paul.
That's right, 18 million Canadian, with the offering on 60 million units priced at 30 cents Canadian per unit, and also came with a half warrant along with those shares, with a full warrant priced at 45 cents and a 3-year exercise period there. The proceeds of this are going to go for general office expenses, but as well as added additional funds for exploration across some of their other properties outside of the Guanajuato immediate production area. Things like the San Ignacio and Valenciana mineral properties in particular will get some extensive work, as well as the improvements on expansion and modernization of the Topia mine and mill complex. That one in particular, I'm really happy to see, because I think Topia within portfolio is probably one that has quite a bit of additional potential, particularly around expanding the mill complex there, as they can get to it for additional revenues. So glad to see the fundraise was quite successful.
Yep. Well, Andrew will be able to tell us exactly how it's going to be used. Looking at London, we've got earnings update from Resolute.
Yes, that's right. Interim results out by that West African gold producer, Resolute. Total gold production came in a little bit down at 151,460 ounces, but because of the much higher gold price, 31% increase in revenue to 447 million. The average sales of 145,000 ounces, which was down about 12,000 ounces, but the gold price being $900 an ounce more essentially offset that. Capital expenditure 57.8 million, which is a rise of about 12 to 15% on year-on-year comparable, but cash position, because of that much better revenues, up to $110 million. So full year production guidance, they did not change, still at least 275,000 ounces, and all-in sustaining cost somewhere above $1,650 an ounce. And they did improve a little bit their lost time injury frequency, so it's nice to see the safety improvement as well.
Yeah, obviously the issues in Mali still an overhang, although the shares have been recovering ground after that big hit last year. All right, Paul, we'll call it a day there, and enjoy your bank holiday.
And to you. See you on Tuesday.
This podcast has been produced and edited by VSA Capital. It is intended for information purposes and not as investment advice. The information is intended for recipients who understand the risks associated with equity investments in smaller companies. Please do your own research and do not rely on a single source when making an investment decision. VSA Capital may derive fees from this content and seeks to do business with the companies mentioned.